How's it going, everybody? My name is Zach, and welcome back to another video. So I just want to preface this by saying sorry if I sound uh, a bit crappy. The pollen is really bad down here in Florida right now, and it's got my sinuses all messed up. So sorry if I sound a bit stuffly or raspy or sniffly or whatever it may be, but yeah, I'm having it rough right now. So my apologies. Um, Second thing, I know it's been a while since, well, not a while, it's been about a week since my first video, and since then I have been doing some thinking. In this one, I got a few quick things I want to talk about in the beginning, and then after that, I want to have a bit of a larger discussion, I guess, on something I've been thinking about over the past week also. So I guess let's get right into it. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is my first video, my last one. Um, in that video, man, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous. I was thinking way too much about what I wanted to say, how I wanted to say it, and sounding good, and all that stuff. And obviously, I could still use some work. I'm not saying I'm not gonna keep trying to improve or whatever, but I'm also realizing I need to stop not necessarily trying so hard, but trying to be so proper with it, I guess. The type of audience I'm trying to reach here is not one I think needs like a proper format or whatever. I'm just trying to talk to people, and normal conversations aren't perfect, so I'm just trying to accept that. And right now, I'm also just trying to focus on getting more comfortable just talking into a mic. Like, I don't even have a camera on, and I'm messing up just talking into a mic. So, for now, like, my voice and the script, quote unquote, might be a little rough, but I just want to get out there and put videos out to talk to y'all, and I don't want to be held up by worrying about how I'm sounding or being professional or whatever. I just want to talk to people and hopefully make somebody's day better. Anyways, with that being said, what I really wanted to talk about today was definitely a doozy of a topic that we're really only going to scrape the surface of for now. Maybe we'll talk about it again later. But I wanted to talk about pain and how we deal with it, what's a good way to deal with it, and stuff like that. So pain is definitely a complicated subject. Like I said, it's a doozy. And I would like to think that's because it comes from a lot of different sources. We could have mental pain, physical pain, emotional pain, just general pain, stress, I guess you would call it. Is pretty painful when you think about it, you know what I mean? A lot of the lives we live are painful. Some of the stuff we have to go through sucks. And honestly, I think a lot of people have kind of just, kind of really forgotten what they should tolerate when it comes to pain. I think, especially in America, our pain tolerance is really high, and that's just kind of because we've been conditioned for like ever to just deal with this stuff. And I can't say I blame people, you know what I mean? People need food and money and a house and shit, and you can't blame them for having to deal with the stuff that they're going through. But also, you gotta realize, man, that shit sucks. Um, so yeah, pain comes from a lot of different ways, and there's a lot of different ways you could tackle it too. But I think that the best way to handle pain, well, really, there's two parts that kind of go together. But I think it starts with just slowing down for a minute, really thinking about the situations you're in, thinking about your feelings, why you're feeling the way you're feeling, thinking about the cause and effect of the situation, what caused this to happen, what caused me to feel this way, what's gonna happen if I react a certain way, stuff like that. And all it takes for us to maybe think about that is, just 2 seconds in the moment of extra thought to really come to that rational conclusion. Like, it doesn't take much, and our actions are not something we can take back. Actions speak louder than words, and maybe sometimes you could take your words back and it might work out for you, but you can definitely not take back your actions and what you do. What you do and what your actions are is who you are as a person. That's what really defines you. And that's why I said just take that extra time, man, to really think about how you're feeling, how you're going to react, the cause and effect, like I said, all that stuff. Because it could be the make or break on how you cope with it later on, whether you come out of it or not, good. I don't know what good really means anymore, but whether you come out of that situation okay or not, it really depends on how you react to it. And with that being said, coming out of that situation is not just how you react to it. I'm not saying if you have a bad reaction it's the end all be all. It also takes the afterwards, the coping process, and that's definitely another place where people get really torn up. They just don't know how to deal with pain and with trauma. I'm not sitting here blaming them, you know what I mean? We're not taught this stuff. We're not taught how to deal with our problems. Even if we do have decent parents, you know what I mean? It's not like society prepares us for a lot of the fucked up shit we deal with these days. So I'm not saying I blame people for not having good reactions to their trauma, but we also need to recognize the fact that it's not healthy, and we need to recognize the fact that we need to do better. So I think, and granted this might be hard for some people, or it might seem cliche, but the easiest way to at least start a healthy coping process is just being honest, man. That's all it takes, is being honest, either with your support system and the people that are there for you, or let's say you don't have anybody there for you and it's just yourself. You have to be honest with yourself, because if you can't even recognize the problem, if you can't even be honest and look at the problem with no bias and see what needs to be fixed, you can't fix anything. You've got your blinders on. You're not even willing to look at the problem. You're not even willing to be honest with yourself. Or whether you have people there with you, if you're not willing to tell them how you're really feeling, what's really going on, if something's bothering you, it's bothering you, and that's, at the end of the day, that's just that. That comes with relationships, with jobs, with friendships, with yourself, with anything, man. If it's bothering you, it's bothering you, and if you don't want it to bother you anymore, you need to handle it. And if you can't be honest with those people or with yourself, like I said, you can't even identify the problem that needs to be fixed in the first place. How is anybody supposed to help you if you can't tell them what's wrong? Because they don't know what's wrong. They can't read your mind. What are they supposed to do? Unless you tell them. They can guess, but then you might get upset because they're not even saying what you really need them to say. You know what I mean? So what's the point? Either way, like I said, you need to just take that time, those few extra seconds. It just takes 2 seconds in the moment to think about how you're feeling and what you're going to do about that. Because, like I said, what you do and what your actions say is really what is going to determine who you are. It's not about what you say, it's about what you do. So think about what you're going to do, the cause and effect, all that stuff, how you're feeling in the moment. And then afterwards, if it doesn't go too well and you're trying to come out of it, trying to make it out the other side, it starts with being honest with yourself or the people around you. Because that way, like, everything's out on the table and y'all can just get to work. You don't need to, waste time digging around, flipping through covers, whatever you're doing, trying to find the problem. It's right there. We know what it is. We know how to fix it. Or we don't know how to fix it, but we're coming up with the way to fix it. And it just makes the process easier, and it makes people a lot more willing to be there for you. But yeah, that's about all I had to say today. You know, it might seem a little cliche. It's not like I'm saying anything prophetic here. I just think it's something people need to hear. You know what I mean? People get so caught up in everything that doesn't matter and trying to portray certain images, and this whole time they forgot how to be true and honest with themselves. And then when something happens, they have no clue who they are or what to do, and it's like the world is ending. So you know what I mean? I just need to be honest with ourselves, and that's about it. Be honest with ourselves and each other, and just think a little bit harder before we react, and think about how we're feeling and what made us feel that way, so maybe we don't repeat that in the future. But yeah, again, that's about all I had to say. I hope you guys are having a better day than me, at least feeling better than me. I'm having a decent day, but yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Hopefully I'll get to making videos more than once a week and get some more people in here getting the good vibes spreading. So yeah, again, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.